Straight Talk with GCH. I'm here with Becky, the Income and Sustainment Manager, and Nikki, the Homes and Neighbourhoods Manager at GCH. So how do you get a home with GCH?
So GCH do not hold the waiting list. The waiting list is held by Gloucester City Council. They have a choice-based letting scheme called HomeSeekers. To apply for housing within Gloucestershire, you would apply directly to HomeSeekers. Once you're issued a banding, you can bid on any properties through any landlords. The shortlist is generated with people with priority need being at the top and working its way down. The letting agents will then work through that list in order to find a suitable person to enter that property. But we make contact with each and every person to see if they need and want that property still. And then we will carry out a pre-tenancy assessment, look at their finances, get them to view the property, which ends up in the property being let to that person if everything is suitable and sufficient for them. And if it's not, we move on to the next person on the list, but we have to move down the list in order of shortlist.
I'm going to read some actual comments out from our customers. So the first one is, I know the housing officers don't care who they put in the property. Can you answer that?
As an organisation, we do care who enters our homes. We have to work through the shortlist, but we will always ensure that the right person goes into the right home for them, and we try to build good communities.
So can GCH directly move someone?
No. Basically, HomeSeeker is the waiting list, and that is where everybody needs to go through. Whether you want to transfer homes, that is the waiting list, and that is how everybody is banded to make it fair for all. The only sort of exceptions to that is where GCH need to move somebody. For example, if we're demolishing their home or need to do massive works to the property that mean that they can't remain in there, then we'd look to move them outside of the HomeSeeker system. The demand for housing far outstrips the supply, and we've got to make sure that we're being fair to everybody and not just somebody who perhaps comes to our attention when there could be somebody else who we don't know about in equal need. So that's why management moves don't exist, and everything needs to go through HomeSeeker.
Gloucester City Homes has approximately 5,000 properties. The current waiting list has over 5,000 households on it. We only normally have 250 at the most vacant properties each year.
Another customer comment says, I don't feel the building and area are safe as there are a lot of problem people. Can I ask what you think about that one?
So, we recognise that when you've got a group of people living in close proximity, there are sometimes going to be clashes, sometimes they're lifestyle clashes. We've got neighbourhood managers who can arrange mediation to, hopefully resolve things amicably. If things escalate or there is a more serious incident, then we've got community and safety and enforcement managers who can take more enforcement action if that's needed, or liaise with the police. We're very much about resolving issues. The whole thing, everybody's got to live somewhere, and we need to make sure that we are supporting customers in all of our homes, whether you're the person experiencing the difficulties or the person causing the difficulties, to try and resolve that.
The good thing about the HomeSeekers system is that it's totally inclusive. Anyone can apply at any time, even if you've got no specific housing need at that time. It will band them efficiently. It will give you a priority need if your priority need is there. It takes into account people's lifestyle, people's addiction, people suffering with their mental health, any medical issues they have, and it will place them accordingly. It's a very fair and inclusive system. It just means sometimes that a person with that housing need will end up in a block, maybe with families, with others, and there could then be a lifestyle clash.
It's really important to us at GCH that people feel safe in their homes. So we have got a toolbox of things that we can use to help resolve issues. That's from mediation right through to court action. Always court action is a last resort. We recognise that things happen in people's lives and people cannot sometimes cope with scenarios, and we're there to try and help and resolve things amicably. We've already said that there aren't enough homes for the people on the waiting list, and we're about keeping people in their homes, keeping them safe.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Becky, for answering the questions today. We will be doing more of these videos, so please follow for more.